या अली मदद, या अली मदद। या अली मदद, या अली मदद। तमाम साथियों को या अली मदद, या अली मदद, या अली मदद, या अली मदद। Thank you everybody. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ya Maulay Mehरबान, या मौलाए मेहरबान, तौफीक, ताहीद, हिम्मत व यारी, तौफीक, ताहीद, हिम्मत व यारी मौला। या मौलाए मेहरबान, या मौलाए मेहरबान, रहम फरमा, करम फरमा। या मौला, अपनी रहमत की मीठी नज़र हम गरीबों पर रख मौला। या मौला, हम तेरे हुजूर में तेरे इल्म के लिए एक बार फिर इस लाइन पर जमा हुए हैं। You know Mola, we are so poor. You know Mola, we are so weak. But with you and your help and your strength and your courage, with your friendship and with your help, we are able to do some ilmi work. Ya Maulay Mehrban, it is your pure and pak name which gives us the tawfiq, ta'id, himmat, yari, Maula. So we will begin this with the pure name of Nur Maulana Shah Karim Al-Husaini Hazri Imam, Hazri Imam, Hazri Imam. Once again, Yali Madad to all the friends, and thank you for joining us on this beautiful, beautiful Sunday morning. We can see Imam's Nur is shining on us. It's nice and bright day today. We will continue on our session on Majalis, which we studied yesterday. This is part 2, and inshallah today we will complete and conclude this session. Yesterday we had laid some principles of the Majalis, and the key principle was the Majalis are not compulsory but a choice for the Mu'mineen. It is the khidmat and a qurbani of the Mu'min for the Imam. Yesterday we had talked about Chandra Mallas, Baitul Khayal Mallas, and we will talk about Ruhani Mallas today. But little bit history of the other Majalis, the background. How did 5 Saal, 12 Saal Mallas, Life Mallas, Fidai Madlas, Nurani Madlas, and other Majalis started? What was the background? What was the thought process? And what was the purpose? When some of the Jamati leaders, after a long period of drought and living in poor condition, but with Imam's mercy and rahmat, when they were able to settle down, they clearly felt the rahmat, mercy of the Imam, and in return they wanted to do something for the Imam. And of course, whenever you say, I wanted to do something for the Imam, you are saying, I wanted to do something for the Jamat. You cannot say, I want to do something for the Imam and leave the Jamat out of it. Because Jamat's work is Imam's work. Jamaat Khidmat is Imam's Khidmat. So when some of the leaders went to then Imam and said, Ya Mullah, we wanted to do something more than what we are doing today. We wanted to do some extra khidmat. We wanted to present a memani, a gift, a pledge to you, Mullah Baba. As our forefathers in the time of Mullah Ali and all the other Imams after them, they had sacrificed their lives. They have worked in the administration of the Imam. They have worked very, very closely in the time of Al-Maut. They have worked within the palace of the Imam and in the other work of the Imam of their respected time. But today we do not have that opportunity. How can we serve you? Mullah, I'm sure there was some conversation, and after conversation, Mullah said, if you wanted to pledge 5 years of your khidmat or 7 years of your khidmat or 12 years of your khidmat, then individually people can pledge those khidmat to me. The very first group of the people who got together for this thought and for this purpose, it was not a majlis like we see today. The majlis that we see today, this is after fact. This is 100 years after the original thought and purpose. Mullah gave them guidance. Mullah says, some of you who want to do some khidmat, you get together and have a monthly meeting. Not a majlis, but a meeting. And you come together and think, what would you like to do? What kind of khidmat would you like to do? Make a small group of like-minded people. But when you get together, always start with the name of the Imam. So may Imam help you. You remember me and I will remember you. Maybe start with a farman or something. And you report that back to me. The minutes of your meetings, report them back to me. And recite a Ginan. Do some dua. Don't just start with a dry heart and dry mind. Because in the name and the remembrance of the Imam, there is lot of barakat. So when This group of Mu'mineen would report back to Mullah about their meeting and what was discussed and how they like to do khidmat of the Imam and the Jamaat. Imam start to send them talikas. Maybe it was not called talikas, it was called guidance. But regardless of what it was called, to the Mu'mineen, every word of the Imam is farman. Every word of the Imam is guidance. Every word of the Imam is blessing. And in some of those guidance, Imam guided them. And maybe at one time Imam have guided them to add more like-minded people into these meetings. Of course, the Mu'mineen, the followers, the Jamaat, they were not as rich or did not have those big, huge places where they would come together. So where these meetings took place? Normally in Jamat Khana. Because that is our social gathering place as well as our prayer place. So they were getting together and more people saw this action, this khidmat, and they wanted to enroll themselves. That we also wanted to do khidmat. And remember, at that time, the largest and the biggest khidmat of the Jamaat, because most of the Jamaat, they were not rich, they were not middle level family, but they were poor. They needed help. And Imam had again and again have guided the Jamaat how they can help the other Jamaat who have not made it to the level that this group of people have made it to. So they had a small fee. Say if we collect, let's say I'm just throwing a number, this is not a definite number, 500 rupees or shilling, and we have X number of group or the members, we will collect X amount of money to help the Jamaat, the poor Jamaat. More they did that, more barakat they had. More they gave, the more better off they became. They had more and more barakat because their niyat, intention was to do a khidmat and to give a qurbani, sacrifice their time, their knowledge, and their money. They were giving all this to Imam, and in return, they were uplifting the Jamaat. And that was the initial purpose of this gathering, these meetings. That was the purpose of this, that like-minded people will come and do the khidmat. And look at today. Imam said, I don't have any administration today for you to come and do physical khidmat of the Imam or even the Jamaat. Because we are much more organized, much more well off. We still have some Jamaat back home that needs help. And inshallah, there are many Ismaili groups who are doing this kind of work to help the Jamaat back home. Imam says, if this is going to be in the large number, meaning more and more Jamaat want to enroll themselves in this majalis, then Imam said, If you offer, let's say again, 500 rupees, doesn't matter, remember the money is not the conversation. If you make an offer, in return, I will consider that as your 5 year of khidmat. And Imam will utilize that money for the betterment of the Jamaat. All the money that was collected was used, and on top of that, Imam with his own funds will match and contribute for the betterment of the Jamaat. Just imagine that 100 years ago, where the Jamaat was, and look at where we are today. This is due to few of the good-hearted mu'mineen and their pure intention of the khidmat and the qurbani. And the khidmat and the qurbani they offer to the Imam, and we are offering to Imam today, it has brought more and more blessing, more and more barakat in our physical life and in our spiritual life. Because when Imam is happy with you, he bless you physically and he bless you spiritually. Each one of this khidmat offering, each one of this qurbani, even though it sounds like that it is all about money, money, money. But remember, money was never a purpose. Imam do not need your money. Imam wanted to bless you. He wanted to bless the heart, the intention, the niyat that you are offering to the Imam, and in return for the betterment of the Jamaat. Even though we don't talk about where all this money goes, but we know that there is no way that entire Jamaat combinedly can collect enough money for Imam to do all the project for the humanity Imam is doing today. May it be AKDN, may it be a community reach out, may it be focus, may it be a rural area development. Throughout the world, Imam is working for the humanity. And we are lucky, fortunate enough to have maybe teeny beeny 1% or 0.0000001% of the khidmat that Imam is doing for the humanity. Imam is the leader who has given his life for the khidmat. He has given his life worth of qurbani to the humanity at large and for the Jamaat at particular. And those who have enrolled themselves with the niyat of khidmat, niyat, intention. If your intention was to do the khidmat and give the qurbani, the offering, then all this will multiply back to your life, your family, your Jamaat, and hereafter. It will come with you. Nothing will come. If you have $1 million, then $1 million will not come with you. But if you have given 500, 50, only 5, only a quarter, only a penny in the khidmat of the humanity, in the khidmat of the Imam, in the khidmat of the Jamaat, that penny will multiply to 100,000 and into millions and billions, and it will come with you as your good deed. That is the background understanding of the majalis. So let's talk about some of the majalis and why different majalis. So the Mu'mineen offer 5 years of khidmat and then 12 years of khidmat. More people joined. More people joined. And we said we also wanted to give 5 years of khidmat. Now remember, Imam in his Farman, and all of us are in this majlis, we remember this Farman, that this is a symbolic khidmat. When we go to 5 Saal, 12 Saal majlis, we should be mindful that are we just giving $5, $50, $500, or are we ready to also give khidmat of time and knowledge? Remember, Imam is asking for 3 offerings. One is up to you, and that is the money part. Money part, that is all entirely up to you. But Imam is asking you to give 2 more khidmat, time and knowledge. Whatever capacity you can do. You do not have to be a doctor, an engineer, and a lawyer, and highly educated IT person to serve the Imam of the time. You can be the small particle of the forces that does the khidmat and give the qurbani, the offering of whatever you have. I'll give you one small example. Matter of fact, I have 2 examples that I just thought of. An old lady, when this golden jubilee concept came into the mind that we should be giving the offering, the memani of time and knowledge. I remember this was close to about 13, 14 years ago. I was speaking to this lady. She was no younger than 80-year-old. She was an 80-year-old young lady. She said, how do I give khidmat? I cannot go to Afghanistan and third world country and Africa or other countries to serve the Imam. I don't have an educational background. I have no degrees. How do I give khidmat? Before I would say anything, in her heart, she came out with the solution. She said, I will gather a group of like-minded women. Remember like-minded people that started this majlis of 5 Saal, 12 Saal? She said, I will gather the like-minded group of women. We will cook. We will sell the food. We will gather the money. And we will take that money and send to the poor brothers and sisters back home. That would be our time and knowledge. We have knowledge, we know how to cook, and we know how to cook food, really, really good. And we will give our time in cooking and gathering things and selling that. And every month, and they had a number in mind, whatever the number was. Remember, it was a niyat. They had a number in mind that we will send $5,000 every month to the poor back home. And this is not for just 1 month or 6 weeks of khidmat. They did this for years after years after year until that lady passed away. Look at how she saved, how did she offer her khidmat at that age, and how did Imam inspire to her. I didn't have to say anything, it was inspiration. Imam inspired her and guided her. How and why? Because she had a good niyat. She had the intention She had the willing, she wanted to follow the Imam's farman, and she wanted to give a khidmat. Example of a second lady. She said, I cannot even walk. I cannot even do any of this the other lady is doing. But I know how to read Gujarati. Just think about it. Not English, not any other languages, but I know how to read Gujarati. So I'm going to learn something from the old education book, and I'm going to teach others in my own language, whomever they may be. So she gathered few of the other women, and they will get together, and she will do the study and she will teach others. The other ladies who could not read Gujarati, because there's a lot of farman, a lot of material in Gujarati language, and a lot of people like myself, we don't read or speak or write Gujarati. So what did she do? She said, I'm going to give this ilmi khidmat. That's how the great institutions are built, on one person goodwill wish. There is a will, there is a way. So people or the Jamat, today we are offering symbolically the 5-year and the 12-year of the khidmat, the qurbani to the Imam when we enroll in this madlas, with this understanding. If we ever have the opportunity to serve more than just symbolically giving money, then we should come forward. Help, give your khidmat, help the Jamat, give the qurbani of your time and knowledge. It could be anything you want. Just have a great niyat. This majlis is not to just get ready, put a nice clothes and go to Jamat Khana. That is symbolically a part of it, but not the end of it. It is a part of it, but not the end of it. Let's come to lifetime majlis. Same concept, but then the Mu'mineen said, I wanted to give more khidmat to my Mawla. Not just 5 saal, not just 12 saal, but I want to give entire life. Here, I like everyone to talk to themselves. Have a conversation with yourself. Have I given my life to Imam when I enrolled in life madlas? Have I given tan, man, dan to Imam? How many times do we say to ourselves, I don't have a time to do this, or I don't have a time to do that. I don't have a time to go to Jamat Khana. I don't have a time to recite my dua. I don't have a time to go to ibadat bandagi. I don't have a time to do any khidmat. I'm too busy in my life. How many times have we said that to ourselves? Self-reflection. But we have enrolled in the life madlas. Tan, man and dan. Sahib Ji ne servo. The intention should be that whenever I'm needed to give my tan, man, dan, I'm ready, I'm willing, and happily will do the khidmat for the Jamaat. Wherever their opportunity arises, grab it. Take the opportunity. Remember, Imam does not want to take all of your time. He just wants a little bit of your time. And we ourselves willingly have said, Ya Mawla, this is your life. This is the breath that I'm taking. Every minute that I have earned, this is your giving, Mawla. You have given me this life. You have given me this life. let me give this life back to you. Just like when Imam give us rosy, we give the stone back. Imam has given us this time, this life, this moment, this strength. Let's give something back to the Imam and in return to the Jamat. Be mindful, always stay busy with some khidmat, whatever that may be. Whatever that may be. It could be as small as just cleaning the carpet. Could be as small as cleaning the Jamat Khana hall. It could be as small as cleaning the pot. It could be taking someone from one place to the other. For example, our senior citizen or newly coming Jamaat and does not have a car or doesn't know the way. Finding somebody a job. Helping a poor person. Teaching someone something they like to learn. Like in our Jamaat Khana, we have computer classes. We have a cooking classes. We have all these different khidmat. Don't be stingy. Give. Whatever smallest thing that you think you can do. Give. Give the khidmat. Because you have pledged your life to the Imam. The going to madras is just a part of it to remind us that we have given our life to the Imam. And when I'm saying give something, I'm not only talking about physically, also being mindful. You can be busy, you can be involved in this kind of ilmi sessions. This right now, this is your ilmi khidmat. This is your time and knowledge that you're giving right now. You do not have to travel halfway around the world to give your time and knowledge. You are doing it right now. If the niyat, intention, understanding, the purpose was there, then you are there. Amal ka daro madar niyat par hai. Everything depends on your intent. What do you wish to do? If you can learn something and teach something, that is your khidmat. Stay busy for rest of your life in whatever makes you happy. It is not what you do for yourself. It only matters what you do for others. Who said that? It doesn't matter what you do for yourself. It only matters what you do for others. Didn't our Imam say that to us in one of his London Farman? It doesn't matter what you do for yourself. Because all our life will be short trying to enrich ourselves. But the moment that you give to the others, that is your lifetime khidmat. Be ready to offer this qurbani, this offering to the Imam, and through Imam, the Jamaat, to the family, to the friend around us, community outreach. There are so many different ways we all can give. The majalis are symbolically there. But the khidmat, the thought of the khidmat is right behind it, not too far off. Let's come to the next mallas, Fidai mallas. The name itself tells us that this mallas is of the Fidai, of the Qurbani, and giving your life in the way of the Imam. Today, Imam doesn't have an army. We do not need to go and fight with anyone. But there are other fights that we need to fight. What is that fight? The fight of ignorancy, fight of knowledge. Today, Imam Aka Sultan Muhammad Shah, may our soul be sacrificed to their Imam, says, in my Dada's time, in Ali Murtaza's time, he fought with the sword, Zulfikar. Mullah says, today we are fighting with the pen. We are fighting with the pen. Today fight is of the ilm, knowledge, education, literacy. Today Imam doesn't have an army or the state. Imam is not asking for our life. But our forefathers have given their life in the way of the Imam. Same khidmat we can do today as the Fidai. But this war is a war of the ignorancy. War of the ignorancy. Learn and teach. Learn and teach. Open your mind, open your heart. Take the Hakiki ilm, Rohani ilm, and inspire others. Inspire others. And this knowledge can be, education can be, like I said, something as teaching a child how to read, teaching an adult how to do whatever skills he needs to have to make his family and earn some money for his family. This could be helping an older person in Jamat how to use a laptop, a computer, a modern phone. It could be anything. Because today the war that Imam is fighting, and that is the war of the ignorancy. We need to take this darkness of the ignorancy out, and let's be the beacon of the light for the Jamaat first and for the others as a humanity after that. And we can do that as a Fidai. We should always be ready to fight with and behind Imam, as we are the army, the Fidai of the Imam. Imam is fighting this war. Let's fight with him. Because Imam is fighting the war with the pain, with the education, with the literacy. That is the war of the day. Let's fight that war with the Imam. Let's be the Fidai in the true sense. The last Mallas, Nurani. The name itself is telling us that now we are talking about something spiritually. Because at the end of the day, it is all about our soul and about our nijat, our salvation. Is all at the end of the day about the salvation, the nijat of our soul. Imam himself calling us my spiritual children. My spiritual children. Let's become his spiritual children. What did I say? Imam is calling us my spiritual children. Let's become his spiritual children. Let's elevate our soul. Let's enlighten our batin. Let's become Nurani with the nur of the Imam. Imam is our father, and he is the ocean of the nur. Let's jump into this ocean of the nur. Let's drink some of this nur. Let's take some of the nur. Let's become true spiritual children. So next time when Imam says, my spiritual children, your heart should pound louder and faster. That Imam is talking to you. You are that spiritual child. You are that spiritual child that Imam is talking to. No one else but you. Each one of us, we should say that let me be actual spiritual child of the Imam, not potential. Potentially, every single human is the child of the Imam. Let's become actual spiritual children. Let's elevate our soul. Let's open our mind and learn things which will help us in our ruhaniyat, in our ibadat. The khidmat, all the majalis are the first step. And where does all this take us? What was the bottom line, the purpose of all this khidmat? So one day, with the blessing of the Imam, we will come closer and closer and closer to his nur. The salvation was the goal. Salvation was the goal. There is one more madlas, and I know a lot of people or some of the people do not want to talk about it, but I'm not going to shy away from it. And that is 1/4 madlas. The offering of the quarter of your earning. 1/4 madlas. There are mu'mineen, very few, I agree. They offer double of their dasan. Not 12.5%, but the quarter of their earning to the Imam. And there is a such offering, the khidmat, the qurbani of the Jamat. And Mullah said, you are my true lashkar. Because you are offering, no one else is offering. With your heart, with your mind, you are saying, Ya Mullah Bapa, 12.5% is for us, compulsory on me. But I wanted to do something more than that for you, Mullah Bapa. So they do what? They double their dasan. And I believe there are people who are giving half of their earning as dasan to the Imam. And Imam say, I accept that as your memani to me on daily basis. Just imagine offering memani to Imam on daily basis. There are mu'mineen, there are Jamat who say, I wanted to give half of my earning to the Imam as the son. And Imam said, I will accept that as your memani on daily basis. And there are other mu'mineen who are giving even more than that. More than that. It is the khidmat, it is the qurbani that we are talking about. So, Ruhani Madlas is the only one we have not touched on. In old days, there would be a Sunday Ruhani Madlas, a special gathering for the sawab of the deceased, sawab of the Ruhanis. May it be in the family or maybe in the Jamat. And there was other days in the past, I would say near past, where you could offer a Ruhani Madlas of member or deceased member of your family. Then it turned into deceased members of the Jamat. But now we see the Ruhani Madlas is combined with our respected Madlas. So when a member of the 5 Saal Bar Saal has passed away, we offer Ruhani Madlas within the 5 Saal Bar Saal Madlas, within the life Madlas, within the Fidai Madlas, within the Ruhani Madlas, within the Baitul Khal Madlas. And in different culture, in different countries, in different Jamaat Khanas, it may be offered differently. But the purpose, the niyat, the intention behind that was that we wanted to pray, we wanted to offer our salawat, we wanted to offer our well wish for the deceased member of the family and the Jamaat. And again and again, more and more people, when they come together and offer their salawat for the Ruhani, inshallah, the Ruhani soul will get a boost and it will increase their level, their ranks. The more we get together with the will and the wish of sending our prayers to the deceased, our salawat for the Ruhani, Mola will forgive their sin and it will increase their ranks, and inshallah they will be Fanafi Imam, will become in the Nur of the Imam as one. Inshallah ta'ala. So we will stop here and we can open the floor for the questioning, and inshallah we will continue, or if we have more things to talk about, we have some questions from yesterday, we can also take those questions today. Ya Ali Madad.